Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Today we got a brand new story to share with you. So let's begin. Life is a never-ending teacher, presenting us with lessons to learn and grow from. Some of these lessons come from our own mistakes or the mistakes of others. Others are imparted to us by the people we know. My partner, Kaya, is a great example. We shared a home for 2 years during which she worked as a dedicated teacher at a reputable school, while I managed my own small business. Recently, we took the significant step of we got engaged, which made me really happy. One of my favorite moments of the day was picking Kaya up after work. I loved hearing about her day as I walked into her office. I asked her how her day was, and she told me it had been awful. She'd had to deal with unruly children at school. We left the premises and got into the car where she continued her. It was a story about disrupted discipline and chaos. I listened intently, knowing that when someone you love recounts their experiences, it becomes inherently interesting. It wasn't about the reprimand from the principal or the challenges Kaya faced. What mattered was that she shared it with me, and I genuinely cared. She expressed her frustration about not being able to even enjoy a proper lunch break, as she had to constantly keep watch over the students to prevent fights or destructive behavior. Kaya didn't think parents should be involved in the school. She wanted recognition and a promotion from the principal. She worked hard without any acknowledgement and wanted a position of influence, where her voice could be heard beyond the classroom. I told her the principal would notice her efforts and she'd get her way. As I said, we ended it back home without realizing how we got there. You go ahead and get undressed. I'll warm up dinner. Just picture the end of another day, lying in bed with Kaya. I suddenly asked her what she had in mind for our wedding. The electronic clock on the wall opposite us illuminated the room with its bright red numbers, showing that it was already 12:30. Kaya's drowsy voice responded as she pulled herself up in bed and switched on the bedside lamp. Her gaze seemed fixed somewhere in the corner of the room as she smiled and replied, "Well, I thought a classic style would be nice, a black suit for the groom, a stunning white dress with a veil for the bride. We'll have plenty of guests, a grand banquet table filled with exquisite dishes, and the best entertainment program with a toast master." I couldn't help but grin as I took her hand in mine. "So that's how it's going to be. What about the honeymoon? We could go to the sea," she suggested. I nodded in agreement. "Kaya," I bid her good night. "Good night." As she turned off the light and settled back into bed, I followed her lead, my mind wandering as I thought about what she'd said. Day after day, the routine of work, quiet evenings, and occasional late-night conversations continued. The familiarity of this routine brought me comfort as I arrived once again at the school, where Kaya worked. Making my way inside, I headed to the second floor and approached her office. I knocked on the door. I was expecting her familiar voice to call out for me to come in, but instead there was silence. When I opened the door, I found an empty classroom. That made me wonder where she was. I looked around the hallway and noticed a teacher nearby. I went over to her and asked, "Excuse me, do you know where Andrea is?" The woman looked surprised, but kindly pointed out that the teacher's lounge was to the left of the schedule. "Thank you," I replied, following her directions. I made my way to the designated door, where I saw a sign marked Teacher's Lounge in black, on a white background. I was about to knock on the door when I overheard voices coming from inside. One voice belonged to Kaya, whom I recognized, and the other was her colleague's. Their conversation made me hesitate to enter. "He's amazing, to be honest. And now the promotion, too." Deputy Director Kaya's voice sounded tired, but audible. "What if others think you're getting all these promotions too easily? Are you going to hide it from them?" Your coworker questioned this. "Well, yes, I have to keep it quiet. You can't tell everyone that I'm sleeping with the headmaster." Kaya replied. I couldn't believe what I was hearing at first. I wanted to believe that I had. I didn't understand what they were saying at first, but I listened to it a few more times, and it became clearer. I was really listening to what they were saying. "How long do you plan on hiding it from them? What if he finds out?" Yulia asked. "He won't find out anything," Kaya assured. I was really angry when I heard my wife's words. It all sounded so ironic. I took a deep breath and slowly exhaled, trying to swallow the resentment in my heart. I knocked on the door and went into the teacher's lounge, surprising both Kaya and her friend. Kaya looked worried. I thought I'd pick you up early, I said. Kaya and her friend looked at me with wide eyes. They immediately realized what I had done. You won't be coming home tonight, I said. You will pick up your things tomorrow. I looked into Kaya's beautiful eyes one last time. Goodbye, I said. I said and walked out. When I got home, I started packing costumes without delay. I was in a lot of pain. Once I had packed all the bags, I carried them out into the hallway. The next day, I was exhausted from lack of sleep. I woke up to loud knocks on the door. I got up, hoping to hear my favorite voice one last time. Oleg, let's talk please, Kaya pleaded. I was in a lot of pain. I clenched my teeth. My teeth were hurting, but I wanted to open the door and let her in. The sting of her betrayal kept me rooted in place. Well, where will I go? Who will I be with? I pleaded. Please understand. I wanted that position. She begged, and I didn't want to understand. I could forgive anything, but not this. I turned away and retreated to my room. Eventually, the banging on the door ceased along with the shouting. Kaya was gone for good, and she sent someone. A couple of days later, I received a package at the address she had provided, and another message asking for forgiveness. It took a long time to accept that she was no longer a part of my everyday life. Overcoming the pain she had caused was difficult, but I managed to do it. Now, I am fully focused on my work, thinking less and less about my wife. I am confident that one day, soon I will be able to let her go completely. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this. See you next time.